Let me bring in CNN legal analyst right now, Shan Wu, former federal prosecutor, and Jack Quinn, former White House counsel for President Clinton. Great to see you both. Shan, let me start with you on what Kara was talking about. The special counsel asking about Trump and his campaign ties to and relationship with the NRA. What would the special counsel care about that?
Looking to develop whether they were influenced by Russia and trying to influence the campaign. So, for example, they might be looking at the question of, was their campaign contributions made? What was the source of that money? Could the money actually have come from Russia? And of course, looking to see if there were substantive exchanges, talking about what kind of issues that the NRA thinks the Russians could weigh in on, and Russians trying to get some intel from them as to how they could most effectively influence the campaign.
So there's that, Jack. But then there is, once again, Rudy Giuliani that we get to discuss. Last time you were on with me, we had to talk about Giuliani, and he's making headlines once again because of another word salad. Now we have word from the White House that the president does not have any problem with what Rudy Giuliani has said, unsaid, and said again in the past few days, and that Giuliani's job may be the one job that is still safe around the president, even though he changed the timeline of the Trump Tower talks. And he opened the possibility that Trump talked to Michael Cohen before his congressional testimony. What does that tell you? Are you surprised that he's the one with job security?
I guess I'm not surprised, Kate. I think, Rudy is a master at sowing confusion, distraction, and denial. He even has mastered the art of denying things he said.
Literally on the record in quotes. Yes, exactly.
Literally on the record in quotes. I tell you what, I do have a suggestion here. I feel like Trump saying, Russia, if you're listening. Congress, if you're listening, subpoena Rudy Giuliani to one of these committee hearings. I think it's really important that Rudy have the opportunity to testify under oath about all of the bizarre contradictions that he has, put in the water around this investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 campaign. He's not going to be able to say, you can't subpoena me, I can't be required to testify because I'm his lawyer, because he hasn't acted as a lawyer, and moreover, he has on so many occasions acted in ways that simply waive any attorney-client privilege, as has the president himself. So I think it would really advance the ball here if we could get Rudy under oath and try to pin down what he believes to be the truth of some of these things about which he is sowing confusion.
And if he's saying all of this so much and so readily in public, then why wouldn't he want to say it before a congressional committee? Shan, were you offering a thumbs up that you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think he would make an excellent pairing with Michael Cohen's testimony, because then, although Michael Cohen is going to be a little bit limited, you can have Rudy sort of test some of the stuff that Michael is talking about and corroborate it.
I did actually want to ask you guys about that. Michael Cohen testifying before a House committee is supposed to be in a couple weeks. Republicans on the committee, they're now upset because what they say is that his attorney said his testimony is going to exclude any topic that's under investigation, which we know is quite broad. If that's really the case, does that mean that he's not going to talk about why he lied to Congress about the Trump Tower, Moscow, or about the hush payments that he said Donald Trump directed him to make? I mean, what do you think, Shan?
I think the answer to that should be yes, because if you're his lawyer and if I'm counseling him and the special counsel doesn't want you to touch on those areas, you have to avoid them very broadly as opposed to kind of weaving in and out of them. But nonetheless, I think there will be some fertile ground for him to cover, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think? I mean, do you think Republicans have good reason to be upset? Or as they put it, they think his testimony is going to be unsatisfying and frustrating?
Well, I think they have grounds to be upset because, it's like that Peanuts cartoon where Lucy's constantly pulling the football away. This is an odd situation, Kate, because it really appears as though Cohen has changed course. And you have to wonder why he said he was looking forward to coming in and telling his truth and so on. Then all of a sudden, he's trimming his sails in terms of what he's willing to talk about. And look, if I were working for Special Counsel Mueller, I would say we've got to be curious here whether, for example, Michael Cohen has been intimidated by somebody, whether he, is experiencing some fear that doesn't originate in his own heart, but that may have caused him to pull back. In short, is there some obstruction going on here? And we need to know whether that's so or not. Again, I'm speculating, but I would want to make sure that there's nothing untoward going on.
Yeah, it will be fascinating, regardless of how much he says or how much he doesn't, when that testimony happens. It's great to see you both. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you,
Thanks.
Kate.
Coming up, the